Early in the spring of 2024, the hulking shape of China's newest nuclear-powered submarine, complete with her unique X-shaped stern, was visible in satellite photos docked at a shipyard near Wuhan. All over the internet, naval experts speculated about the mysterious underwater vehicle's design, capabilities, and most importantly, power source. But just as fast as she came onto the scene, the submarine vanished. By June, satellite imagery from the same exact spot revealed all that remained were cranes. There was no sign of the submarine, no reports, and especially no explanations from Beijing. The apparent pinnacle of China's nuclear submarine ambitions was now hiding beneath the surface, and no one knows why. Over the past decade, Chinese leader Xi Jinping has steered an aggressive modernization drive for the People's Liberation Army, comprising personnel shakeups, organizational restructuring, arms procurement, and technological research. The goal is to forge a 21st century fighting force that can go toe-to-toe with Western militaries. This is especially crucial at sea, where Chinese forces increasingly face off against US-led forces over claims to Taiwan and the South China Sea. While China has the world's largest navy by number of ships, over 370, it still lags behind America's naval power, especially in submarine warfare. According to a Pentagon report, at the end of 2022, the Chinese submarine fleet featured 48 diesel-powered craft and 12 nuclear-powered units, including 6 attack subs and 6 ballistic missile subs. In contrast, the United States Navy's submarine force is entirely nuclear-powered, with 53 attack submarines, 14 ballistic missile submarines, and 4 guided missile submarines. Nuclear-powered attack submarines are considered the apex predators of naval warfare, as they can travel almost indefinitely without refueling. They're faster and can stay underwater for long stretches, limited only by supplies and maintenance. Despite China having a few nuclear-powered submarines, in comparison, they are simply not of a high standard. Well aware that this is one area where they are lacking, China has been pushing hard to close the gap as soon as possible, diversifying the production of nuclear-powered submarines. One particular project stands out to military experts and enthusiasts alike. In May 2022, satellite imagery from the Huludao shipyard that spring showed a nuclear attack submarine with a bigger and longer hull than already existing models. Initially, it was unclear whether the submarine was an upgrade of China's Type 93 or Type 94 nuclear submarines, or something else entirely, as the images were too limited for a definitive identification. In addition to being substantially longer, this boat appears to have an X-shaped stern, a feature never seen before on any Chinese submarine. Designed for improved maneuverability, efficiency, and safety, it also helps reduce the acoustic signature across significant parts of the submarine's operating envelope. As a result, this rudder configuration has become increasingly popular all over the globe. Experts suggest the submarine's expanded hull size has several potential uses. The space could accommodate vertical missile launchers or surveillance equipment. Additional storage might be dedicated to covert operations gear. Perhaps most intriguing is the possibility of an innovative propulsion system. Recent intelligence from the United States suggests that the submarine, now labeled Type 41 by Western analysts, may feature a unique hybrid propulsion system containing both conventional power and a small nuclear reactor. The concept itself dates back to 2017, when retired PLA Navy Rear Admiral Zhao Dengping first mentioned plans for a low-power nuclear reactor, intended as an auxiliary engine for a new 7,000-ton attack submarine. This reactor would not only replace the AIP systems used in the Type 39A, but would also enable more extended missions and enhance capabilities through advanced electronics and weapons. If true, this unique hybrid approach, where the nuclear reactor kicks in only when higher performance or extended range is needed, is a tantalizing development for China's naval ambitions. Not only could this design allow the submarine to remain at sea for longer periods, but it also offers a new level of unpredictability in its operations. However, as the submarine underwent final outfitting in the spring of 2024, something unusual caught the eye of analysts. In September 2024, Thomas Schugert, a former United States Navy submarine officer and senior researcher, noticed something bizarre at the Wuhan shipyard near Wuhan, a city of nearly 10 million people located on the Yangtze River, some 300 miles away from Shanghai and the South China Sea. A satellite image from March 10th of that year shows the now dubbed Zhao-class sub, complete with its signature X-shaped stern, docked at the port. However, photos from the same area in June appear to show cranes instead of the submarine. With this information, Schugert surmised that there might have been an incident that involved the submarine, which at the time he didn't know was nuclear-powered. He published a series of social media posts noting the unusual activity, which attracted the media's attention. As a result, in September, the Wall Street Journal was the first to officially break the story. China's newest nuclear-powered attack submarine sank in late May or early June, marking a major setback for one of the country's priority weapons programs. In an interview, Schugert stated, quote, "I've never seen a bunch of cranes clustered around one spot. If you go back and look at historical imagery, you can see one crane, but not a bunch clustered there. Usually, those submarines, after they get launched, they're there at the shipyard for several months in outfitting, and it wasn't there anymore." Currently, the US government isn't certain whether the submarine was carrying nuclear fuel at the time it sank, though experts believe it's highly likely. So far, American officials haven't seen any signs that China has tested the surrounding water or environment for radiation, or if any personnel were injured in the incident. Although the submarine appears to have been salvaged by the PLA Navy, it will likely take months before it's ready for deployment. The fact that the first of these submarines sank, as confirmed by US defense officials, raises serious questions about the program's future and whether or not the submarine can even be restored to full operational status. According to Schugert, quote, "The whole boat would be full of water. You'd have to clean out all the electronics. The electric motors may need to be replaced. It would be a lot of work." Thankfully, the actual risk of a nuclear leak is likely to be low, as the submarine hadn't yet ventured out to sea, and its reactors were probably not operating at a high power level. As expected, the ever-secretive Chinese authorities have vehemently denied the incident. According to an embassy spokesperson in Washington, quote, "We are not familiar with the situation you mentioned, and currently have no information to provide." Officials and experts believe they are unlikely to, especially since the submarine in question is a new design, incorporating several advanced and possibly even unique and top-secret features. According to a senior US defense official who preferred to remain anonymous, quote, "It's not surprising that the PLA Navy would try to conceal the fact that their new first-in-class nuclear-powered attack submarine sank pierside. In addition to the obvious questions about training standards and equipment quality, the incident raises deeper questions about the PLA's internal accountability and oversight of China's defense industry, which has long been plagued by corruption." The incident not only raises doubts about the survivability of the new submarine, but also serves as a reminder of the challenges militaries worldwide may encounter when managing nuclear materials. While the sinking of the Zhao-class nuclear submarine is a significant setback for the PLAN, this is not the first instance where reports of an accident involving a Chinese submarine have sparked controversy and made global headlines. In August 2023, rumors surfaced about a Chinese submarine crash in the Taiwan Strait, but both China and Taiwan denied the claims, the latter stating that there was no evidence to corroborate that a submarine had crashed in the strait. With no evidence found to support the reports, the story died down. However, in May 2024, Taiwan's National Security Bureau finally acknowledged that an incident involving a PLA Navy Type 93 submarine did occur the previous year. The worrying news story of the first of the Zhao-class submarines seemingly sinking in the Yangtze River had the effect of a media bomb. Upon closer inspection, the claims seem vague, with many details not aligning with the idea of a nuclear submarine being built at this river shipyard. This leads some to speculate whether the entire story, or even the submarine itself, might be an elaborate hoax or a massive misunderstanding. News of the submarine sinking came the same week as China conducted a rare launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile into international waters in the Pacific Ocean, marking the first time Beijing had performed such a test since 1980. The rocket, carrying a dummy warhead, landed in a designated area, with China's defense ministry stating that the test was part of routine training, complying with international law. While they frequently conduct missile tests, this long-range test into international waters was notable and mirrored similar U.S. tests. According to James Acton, the co-director of the Nuclear Policy Program, quote, "It's China's way of telling us, like you, we're not ashamed we have nuclear weapons, and we're going to behave like a great nuclear power." As more details about the Type 41 emerge, they highlight both the ambitious and risky nature of China's submarine program. Yet there's no denying that the PLA Navy is not afraid to take risks in the rapid expansion of China's Navy, both above and below the surface. The development of the Zhao class shows the PLA Navy's eagerness to adopt cutting-edge technologies and optimize its submarines for critical regions like the South China Sea and Taiwan. According to Jeffrey Lewis, a missile expert, quote, "We're entering a new age. We're entering an age where the US and China are engulfed in what feels like an arms race."